silence your phones and electronic devices, and please stand for a moment of silence and
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Story, which please call the roll.
Eno, Nagusakis, Ellis.
Here.
Stellar.
Here.
Sutherland.
Here.
Patel.
Here.
Huey.
Here.
Ramos.
Here.
6 present, 2 absent.
All right. So first on the agenda, we have Stephen Knob, Director of Employment and Training Administration, with a request to create one associate account clerk grade 9 position. This position has been budgeted for 2025. Legislative request number 18.
So moved.
Oh, okay, it's me. This is, again, it was in our budget originally. I've been before you last year for the same position. We had a couple of retirees at the end of 2024. And this is one of those positions to fill that. Because it wasn't in our budget originally, I guess, we had an associate account clerk too. That's why I guess we have to come before you now because it wasn't in there originally. But it's to replace an associate account clerk too, generally. That's it.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Nice and easy.
Thank you.
How are the job fairs coming along for 2025?
We've got one in Middletown, February 27th. We have one in Newburgh, the end of March. The one on the 27th, and I referenced it today at the department head meeting, AmScam in Chester. There are 425 folks that work there. They're going to be closing at the end of February. A lot of those folks are starting to look for work. We've spoken to a few of the distribution centers in the area, and they're getting some of those folks applying for jobs. But we're going to try to focus that February one in Middletown on employers that would want to hire those folks. We did a similar thing when Yellow Cord went out in Maybrook. We had about 300 folks. We did one at the Kaplan Center at SUNY Orange in Newburgh, and we probably had about 150 to 200 folks from Yellow come to that job fair. So we're hoping to get the same results this fall. That's what we have on the agenda.
All right.
And
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda, we have Anne Marie Maglio, Director of Office for the Aging. And Danielle, the Director. With a request to create one full-time case manager aging grade 14 position. Upon reassignment of the permanent holder into this newly created full-time position, the part-time case manager aging position will be defunded. This is legislative request 13.
So moved.
Second.
Well, I think it's Happy New Year. I don't think I've seen you guys since last year, so Happy New Year. Thank you for considering this. The state is requiring us to do more and more reporting with our New York Connects, which is our single point of entry. And we've always had a part-time case manager oversee that, which sometimes has been problematic because when she's not there, it seems to be when everything kind of blows up. So having somebody there that has continuity, is able to do the additional reporting is very important. As you see, we will freeze the part-time position, so it's really not a ton of money for this because the state covers 75% of it. So it's just the state is requiring more of us lately.
Any questions?
So, and so you're not gonna eliminate the job, and if you need it, bring it back?
Yeah,
So
we're not going
you-
to eliminate it, just in case we have to bring it back. I mean, not that I don't love to come and ask for a position, but if we can have it on the books and just freeze it, it won't be funded, but so if it is funded, actually, I'll probably have to come back. But we don't foresee right now that we'll need it. But I don't know that down in the future that we will need it. They're also requiring a lot more with caregiving. So right now, we think we're in good shape, but it's always nice to have something in our pocket just in case.
Yeah, but we normally try as a legislature to eliminate positions and then bring them back when we,
Well, but there's no funding attached to it.
that doesn't matter. You still have the title and it still
Right.
can be done.
Okay,
Okay, I'm not on the committee.
thank you.
Any additional questions? No. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, and now we move on to B, request to accept intermunicipal agreement between the county and the village of Greenwood Lake, town of Blooming Grove, town of Cornwall, and the village of Montgomery. These agreements are for the 2025 senior and congregate dining centers. The effective term for the agreement is January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, and this is legislative request 2020.
Second.
This is something that we do every year. We just have agreements with municipalities that have congregate sites. And there's different dollar amounts because of how many days they serve. So we technically, like, if they serve once a week, we give them 5,000 a year, twice a week, 10,000, so on and so forth. If they are a site where a distribution site and they oversee the distribution of the volunteers, we give them a little bit more money. So Blooming Grove is a distribution site, they get 30,000. Cornwall is not, but they serve 3 times. They also do a little bit more, which is why we give them $400, but pretty much that's the way it balances out. And we've done it this way, for as long as we can remember, and it's worked out very well.
Any questions?
So when you partner up with the Village of Montgomery, for example.
Yes.
The senior citizens come in.
Yes.
And they pay a small amount.
It's a suggested donation, they don't have
It's
to
not-
pay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they have a suggested donation, somebody collects that, and that money gets dispersed to the village and county?
No, we have a contract with the village, and that's how much we pay them, and if there's a donation, then it goes back to the county.
Oh, it does go back,
Mhm.
so anything that they receive goes back to the county.
Yes,
How's
yes.
that, just out of personal curiosity, because there's been like a change in management there, there's been some problems with
I
the
have heard,
village
yes,
from
I heard
Montgomery Senior
that.
Center, believe me.
Yes.
So is it?
We should talk, I have heard that, so.
My
Uh,
page.
So what happens is they're also distribution sites. So when the volunteers come and they take the Cambros and they deliver the meals and they bring the Cambros back, there's envelopes that have donations in them. So one of our couriers will come, get all the Cambros, the empty Cambros, bring them back to the kitchen, and the donations are there. So they don't really even see them.
So I guess theoretically, so that amount that's part of this, some of it will be reimbursed.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. And do you have any idea what percentage gets reimbursed? Say,
I can find
doesn't
out and
have to
let
be
you know.
exactly, but
I'll find out and I'll let you
what it
know.
was last year, what it might be this year, because there's like, been a lot of talk.
I'll let you know the exact amount.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, any other questions or discussion? All right, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Thank you so much. I'd also like to tell you, I think it's the worst kept secret, but I am retiring. And I want, yes, I will be. I want to thank you all. This committee has always been so supportive of the older adults, of our office, of me. Your guidance and your leadership is really been very, very much appreciated. And I will miss you. It's very bittersweet, but I know that hopefully my predecessor, we work very, very well together, and we really have the same vision on how to really enhance the lives of older adults in our county.
Sure do.
So thank you so much.
much for your.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for your dedication and
Yes.
everything.
Thank
that you've done.
you. Yeah, you just stay there. Like somebody get up and come back or whatever.
You can now deliver the meals.
Yeah, I can be a volunteer now.
Yeah. And next we have Deputy County Executive Harry Poor with a request, confirmation of the appointment of Danielle Dana Smith as Director of Office for the Aging. This appointment will begin on February 1st, 2025, legislative request 23.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Would we all like to sponsor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right, go ahead.
You're making my work very easy today. 21 years, yeah. And you've been with her how many years?
13.
13, so I think there's going to be a lot of synergy there in terms of the transfer of responsibilities. But county exec has appointed Danielle, and we're here today to seek your confirmation of that appointment.
I just wanted to say that I think you're, big shoes to fill, but I think you are more than capable of doing it, and look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Let's go to.
Yeah, I just, first of all, want to thank Anne Lee for everything, and that goes without saying with help, thanking you too, Danielle, and I look forward to working with you, for 21 more years.
Let her stay for
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, and I truly love what I do. Like we said, we've worked very well together. My emotions are all over the place. I'm really excited. I'm sad that Anne Marie's leaving. We just work very well together. So I look forward to working with you more closely and just keep moving the department forward for the older adults in our county. So I'm really excited. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yes,
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Kevin Hines, Chairman of the Orange County Legislature. The resolution of the Orange County Legislature creating the Housing Task Force Committee pursuant to section 2.2 of the Orange County Charter and Article 5, paragraph G of the legislative manual.
So moved.
All right.
Well, thank you for having me. I wish I could say this was my idea, but it wasn't. It was the idea of Genesis, Rob Sassy, Janet Sutherland, and Kevin Darren Lujan to create this committee. I wholeheartedly endorse it. I met with both Rob and Genesis, and they kind of conveyed that not only is Orange County great at economic development, but when you create the jobs, people can't afford to live here. We don't want to create jobs for people that live elsewhere. We want to create jobs for people that live here. That's the first prong of the approach. The other is housing in general. So they have a full list of people that they want to meet with as a committee. It was exciting to hear both Rob and Genesis come up with not only economic development people, but builders looking for grant money to assist in this. And I know that they spoke with Deputy County Executive Harry Poor. He said they already do a lot of work in this venue, as we know. So it's going to be a learning experience, I think, for all of us and the people of Orange County to see how they can help with respect to this issue, which is somewhat of a crisis here in Orange County. So I'm excited to bring this forward to all of you. I know Lee just told me he wants to be on the committee. I don't know if somebody here on the committee wants to amend this before it goes out. It will also go to rules as well.
I'll make a motion to amend the resolution to add legislator Lee Benton.
Second.
So to vote on the amendment first, right? So all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then all in favor for the original resolution?
Aye.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chairman. I appreciate your support on this, and I look forward to seeing all the good things.
Thank you all.
Thank you. All right. And last but certainly not least, we have Lacey Trimble, Commissioner of Social Services and Mental Health. And on paper as well. Yeah. All right, so first up, we have a request supplemental appropriation from the designated surplus for the payment of intergovernmental transfers, IGT, totaling $4,581,094, legislative request 321.
So moved.
Second.
So these funds were planned for, they were put aside in surplus because we knew the bills were coming for the IGT fund. Based on the timing, that's why it's being brought forward at this point from when we received the funds, but they were planned for out of the surplus that was existing.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and a motion to discuss the monthly report.
Second.
Roger.
So on page 2 of your monthly report is temporary. November, you have October's numbers within November, so rather than making you listen to me 2 times, we'll go over it all at once. Provided 1,475 cases of TA in October, 1,479 cases in November, so pretty consistent there. That is both family assistance and safety net. Family assistance was down 8 cases from September and remained the same in November. There was an increase of 58 safety net cases in October and a decrease of 2 in November. We had 22 recipients enter employment in October and 24 in November. This is lower than our September number, but that number was significantly higher than previous months and all of the year. So far over the year, we are 20 more people compared to the same timeframe last year who had entered employment. Next page.
Dylan?
Yes.
Yeah, just to. October, it went down from 40 to 22, 24. Is there anything that sticks out why that would be the case?
Not that I'm aware of. They do fluctuate throughout the year. You'll see in previous years, we'll have 16 and then up to 32. So it really is just on the timing when people meet certain goals and obtain employment, or they, have completed the process of going through applications and all of that.
And it seems like the 40 is actually more of the, out of the skew even further because of all the previous ones.
Yeah.
And you should ask Steve, he was here.
We haven't seen a 40 in quite a while. So SNAP is the next page. 18,859 cases received SNAP benefits in October, 18,914 in November, a month-to-month increase of 181 and 55 cases respectively. With the exception of March, we've consistently seen about a 0.5% to 1% increase each month. And you'll notice last year, the numbers fluctuated up and down, not significant, but you had like a 1% increase and then you might have almost a 2% decrease. This year, it's been a steady increase over time. HEAP payments in October were 79, which is the end of the 2023-2024 HEAP season. It restarts in November, which is why your chart starts back in the beginning on here. If you compare the 2022 to 2023 HEAP season to 23-24, there are 15,985 less HEAP payments. This is a result of the state doing a different process where they had additional funds at the end of the year, and there was a cutting of separate checks for people who received benefits already. So same number of people approximately who qualified and received benefits, but their benefits came in 2 checks, which is why it looks like additional payments. So we started the new HEAP season in this November. Our applications have been very high. They started like 800-900, now we're over 2,000 each week coming in. But you'll see that that doesn't necessarily equate to more people who are deemed eligible because the criteria is what it is. So we'll see how they come out, but our staff have been working very hard. I give them a lot of credit. They are processing those applications, doing their best to stay within all the regulatory timeframes with a very high number coming in. Emergency housing placements, emergency housing shelter placements continue to trend higher compared to last year. Our current average for families is 20.6 and 46.3 for singles. If you look at last year's averages, it was 15.6 and 38.8. You can see the numbers from October and November remained pretty constant. So we didn't see any huge increase there. In your next page, our placement in hotels and motels is also continuing to trend higher. Average of 110.8 families and 112.5 singles each month. In October, there were 139 singles and 124 families placed in hotels. November, we had 151 singles and 130 families. Our numbers in Project Life remain pretty stable. There are a set number of beds there, so they tend to be very stable. We had 790 individuals experiencing homelessness who received services in October, which was slightly less than September, but increased again in November to 828. Our monthly average for 2024 to date was 729. which is 242 more than last year's average. The point in time count is coming up on January 23rd. So that will involve trying to get an accurate count of how many people are experiencing homelessness across the county.
Sorry, I'm sorry, what was that date?
Yeah, the
The
23rd,
23rd.
that's Thursday. Do you know where are like the designated meeting points for the county?
I do have them, but I don't know them off the top of my head, so I can send them to
Okay.
you. There's one in
Perfect.
each of the population
Yeah.
centers, so each of our cities has a set location to meet, and I believe different times that people can count.
Thank you.
Can you have that sent to the whole committee, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
I know last year, Chris Molinelli had people do videos or little clips to put out there. Did he do that again this year? Do you know?
Yes,
Or-
I recorded mine last week. So,
Okay.
yes, I don't know when they will be put out publicly, but he
Okay.
did reach out and have different people do a little PSI.
Good, thank you.
Page 6, in October, there were a total of 20,629 locally managed Medicaid cases. It's up slightly from September, which was 35. November went slightly down again at 20,612. But overall, we continue to trend downward compared to 2023, which we expected. Those cases equate to 22,643 individual recipients for the month of October and 22,632 for November. Managed care numbers are also continuing to trend downward. Page 7 is the chart that's showing you both the managed Medicaid and the Medicaid that is not managed locally. You'll see that the numbers tend to fluctuate, though the recipient count continues to be updated. Even back, we went back to 2023 with some of the changes that they more recently put in towards the end of the year, but the amount we spent remains constant. It's just a matter of who's on the rolls and making sure they have those right numbers, and we receive those periodically from the state. Your next page, page 8, is the RAID CH numbers. For October, we were higher than the last report with 23 total arrests, but the number did go back down in November with only a total of 8. Next page is Child Protective Services. There were 328 reports of child abuse and neglect investigated in October. 190 of those were assigned to traditional response, 138 were assigned to FAR. In November, there were 254 reports with 137 assigned to traditional response and 117 assigned to FAR. There have been 3,328 total traditional and FAR responses through November, 192 less than the same time period last year. This page is very exciting to me. This is our foster care numbers. Foster care services were provided out of home placement, 196 children in October, and dropped to 178 children in November. The average year to date is 206 children per month. This is by far the lowest number, talking to my staff at DSS, that we have ever had in Orange County. We have staff who have been here for many, many years, and they cannot remember a time when we were this low. So very good that with all the work they're doing is making a difference. And I just also, not on here, but want to add that we received WAVE data back from the state, which gives us kind of outcome data on how we're doing. And to me, one of the most exciting about that was that we heard back that 0% of our children who were returned home went back into foster care within a year. So once they're going home, they're staying home, which is very, very good and significantly less than the state national average. The goal is to be 11%, and they're at 0. The highest I've seen is 2 since I've been here. Adult Protective Services, the total number of active cases in Adult Protective Services was 258 in October and 260 in November. 44 of those cases were new in October and 49 were newly assisted individuals in November. The average number of cases per month is 262.5. Home care also continues to trend higher with 325 cases in October and 327 cases in November. The 2024 year-to-date average is 301, which is 29 more than last year's average. Our child support unit served 9,642 cases in October and 9,645 in November. They collected and dispersed over 3.2 million in October and almost 3.9 million in November. Their year-to-date total is around 38 million. They are Special Investigations Unit. They investigated 147 feds and EDR cases in October and 166 in November. The goal of this unit, as I mentioned before, is to prevent inappropriate payments and to remedy if inappropriate payments are made. The combined year-to-date total cost avoidance for feds and EDR cases in Orange County is 8.4 million, so they're doing a really good job. The unit investigated 46 allegations of fraud in October, and 32 of those were substantiated. In November, they investigated 29 allegations, with 18 being substantiated. And the year-to-date savings for those investigations is just under 90,000. Any other questions?
Congratulations on those foster care and Heather. Please extend our thanks and congratulations to your team.
I will. They're doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
So.
Thank you.